September 15th is the projected deadline for the merge to occur. It could occur between September 13th and 16th, and that's because they're basing the merge on some blockchain numbers and not on calendars like we like to use. We had a hard fork over the weekend, Bellatrix, which was an upgrade to the proof of stake chain, the beacon chain that is already live. The Bellatrix upgrade essentially made it possible for the beacon chain and for the proof of work chain that's already active, both those chains are active, to connect with each other for the actual merge date. This is a huge event in crypto. I think just in terms of like larger events out there, it's up there with like Bitcoin being created, Ethereum launching, and now we have the merge. It's showing that proof of stake is at least feasible to move into. We'll see how it holds up over the next few years, but at least it's feasible to move into and do this upgrade, which has long been touted as a reason for Ethereum to exist in the first place when it's competing with Bitcoin. Adam, I want to throw this one over to you. Huge deal coming up in the next week or so. How are you planning on celebrating, or are you going to celebrate?
Oh man, I'm so risk averse that I'm not one that really celebrates about these types of things. I honestly look at the upcoming date with a little bit of trepidation. It's not trepidation because they haven't done their diligence on it. It's trepidation because something like this is audacious in scope, and there are so many things that could go wrong that it just seems like there's a non-zero chance of that happening. And I think that this is an incredibly important moment for Ethereum. This is a moment where now that they're finally moving forward with this, the success or failure of it, in the immediate term, much less kind of in the future, will really define what the market is going to look like and whether or not there's really space for companies like Solana out there, who have largely made their sort of claim to why they should exist and why they're a better alternative based around some of the things that Ethereum is in fact adopting now. Now, it's not going to take them all of the kind of distance that they need to go. But again, to the extent that this goes well, it will be an incredibly strong catalyst for Ethereum and will really kind of prove that they can do these types of things, which Bitcoin, for all of the things that it's good at, has always been incredibly conservative out of an abundance of concern because it's worth a lot of money. Well, Ethereum's worth a lot of money too, $200 billion in terms of value on that blockchain right now. And that's not even counting a lot of stuff. So, I think it's a huge milestone. It's a huge accomplishment to even get to this point. I really, really, really hope it goes well, because I think to the extent it doesn't, it's going to be problems. But I'm hopeful. Let's see. Wendy, how about you?
I'm very excited, but I'm also very cautious. And thank you for using that big word. I thought it was absolutely outstanding, and it made your point just hit home a lot harder. I'm just kidding, giving you a hard time. I'm excited for the merge. I think it's fantastic. I actually minted a NFT on Solana last night, and I kind of wish it was on Ethereum because there's so many problems with the network. And with Ethereum, you can just keep adding more gas to push the transaction through. So that was cool. But I agree with everything that you said, that there's a lot of money riding on this. Like, I couldn't imagine being one of the devs that were working on the merge. I would feel so much responsibility. Like, a lot of people are very invested in Ethereum, especially the NFT community. And one of the things I want to let the audience know is, guys, just be patient. There could be things that go wrong. Tech is hard. It doesn't always go as it's supposed to go. And I just hope that this is a positive thing for crypto in the long run, just because so many people are so invested. Jen, what are your thoughts?
I am also excited, but also cautious at the same time. So I take both Wendy and Adam, what you said, and I take that to heart. But I have a question for you, Will. Besides planning a celebration, if someone out there has Ethereum, they hold Ether in their wallet, what do they need to do to prep for this, if anything?
Sit back and relax. You don't have to do anything, actually, which is pretty nice. I do think there's some people in the ecosystem who are preparing. There's a lot of exchanges that need to do things. Are they going to list this ETH POW token? There's miners that are having to decide what to do with these huge stacks of GPUs. Are they going to mine other coins? Are they going to go into other computation? Or are they going to stick around and see if ETH POW is actually a mineable token? For everyday users who are just holding accounts, you don't really need to do anything unless you choose to be aggressive, chasing some ETH POW tokens or trying to get some of these tokens that are going to be on the forknet of the Ethereum chain that we might see, and see if you want to trade those. But for someone who's just rock and rolling with just Ether, a few other tokens, and you're not really worried about anything else, sit back, relax. Everything should be fine on that side. Wendy, to you.
One of the things I did want to remind everyone is that we're hearing a lot of different reports about exchanges kind of halting trading or not allowing deposits or withdrawals during this time. So please, 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 if you're somebody who is actively investing, please make sure that you pay attention to whatever exchange you're using, follow the rules, understand when this is going to be, and also maybe take into consideration other projects that you're using that are built with Ethereum technology that also could cause some issues there. So just please plan and please have this like in your investing and trading journals, because things can get absolutely crazy during this time. Maybe don't trade at all.
Things are definitely going to be interesting on the trading front. I think if you get involved with the ETH POW token, and just for listeners out there, what that means is there's going to be the ETH POS when the merge happens and the fork goes over. We see a new chain sort of continue or merge, obviously, with ETH POW and ETH POS together. And then we might see this ETH POW track continue. So we'd have the original Ethereum chain continue, and they would have essentially two tokens, right? And so everyone who has Ethereum in an account or has a token built on Ethereum would have two versions of the same thing. The difference, though, will be the economic value of it. It's more than likely that the ETH POS token is going to have significantly more value than the ETH POW token. That doesn't mean that the ETH POW token will be valueless. It just means it's going to be worth a lot less because of the history of these forks and then looking at how many people are going to support the ETH POW chain. I do expect a lot of ETH POW chains to be supported on some of these weird exchanges out there like Poloniex. And then I think there's going to be some really aggressive trading strategies by people who are proficient in these things. So there's definitely going to be some fireworks, but I think for the average user, they're not going to notice anything. Hopefully they won't notice anything at all, actually.